welcome to another episode of Sustainment TV. I'm your host, David McDonald, and before we get into today's video, please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It'll help the channel to grow and improve upon what I do. So, without further delay, let's get right into today's video. Okay, so the other day I'm in my front yard doing some chores, enjoying a nice mild day, and my neighbor is out doing some chores as well. So he says, "Hey Dave, my fruit tree was pretty productive this year." I go, "Okay, that sounds good." He said, "Would you like some persimmons?" I said, "Persimmons?" Now this is me, my inside voice. I was like, "What are persimmons?" But I said, "Hey, maybe I'll come over sometime and get some." He's like, "Oh, it's no trouble at all. I got dozens of them. I'll go get you a bag." A bag of persimmons. Okay, so he, gives me about a dozen persimmons, and it's a tree fruit. Looks almost like a tomato, and yes, I know tomatoes are fruit. As far as like what it tastes like, if a mango and a bell pepper were to start a family, that's what this would be in terms of taste, consistency. It has a taste of its own. That's the closest thing in reference to the description that it comes to. But I don't want them to go to waste, so I guess come join me in the kitchen. We'll find something constructive and purposeful to use these with. So see you in a bit. All right, so today's task is to make persimmon bread. I'm gonna do 2 loaves of persimmon bread, small loaves, about 4 inches by 9 inches. So I have 2 aluminum pans in order to accommodate that. Of course, the main ingredient is persimmons. I'm going to peel a total of 6 persimmons. That'll be 3 persimmons for each pan. Some recipes call for fresh persimmons, some call for persimmon pulp. 3 persimmons equals 1 cup of persimmon pulp. So gonna go ahead and properly wash the produce and peel it, and then I'll be right back. Okay, since we're making bread, in addition to the fruit that I've just peeled, you can have other additives, but this is just a basic recipe for making persimmon bread. Okay, so the recipe, it calls for 1.5 cups of flour, 2 large eggs or 3 medium eggs, 3/4 cup of white sugar, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and then of course half cup of walnuts and half cup of raisins. Those are optional, that I'm not going to do. But we do have to add the 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, now that I have all of the ingredients in a mixing bowl, I'm gonna mix it on. I'm probably gonna do it on low. The one thing I did forget to tell you is that right when you start to combine your ingredients, make sure that you preheat your oven to 325. Okay, so we're gonna use these 2 4x9 baking pans in order to put our bread mixture in order to get it ready for baking. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you oil the pan prior to putting your mixture in with some spray oil, like canola, sunflower, whatever. I would say go with canola. Okay, so we're getting ready to commit this to the oven. You want to bake it for 75 minutes, and you'll want to make sure that a toothpick is dry in order to ensure that it's baked all the way through. So 75 minutes in the oven, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so here are the 2 loaves of bread that have just been pulled from the oven after approximately 75 minutes. Gonna let them cool for a second. Well, let them cool for about 5 minutes actually, and then I'll cut one to let you see how it looks on the inside. We'll see how it tastes. Be back in a few. Okay, so it's been cooling about 8 minutes. Gonna go ahead and try to cut into it and see what it looks like. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Let's see what it tastes like. It reminds me a little bit of pumpkin bread. It's nice and moist. Most of the fruit dissipated. You can still see some chunks of it, but nice and soft, moist. It's very good. I would say probably an alteration I may make is maybe do a half a teaspoon of nutmeg for each one, and I also would coat it with some vanilla icing. And remember, this can be prepped just like you would banana bread, something like that. If you wanted to add raisins, you could add walnuts, pecans, you know, however you typically would, you know, bake any other bread. So surprising, I'm actually going to eat some more of this. So a surprise for me. I'm glad I was able to put the persimmons to good use for my neighbor. And feel free to leave your comments on this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope your bread turns out well, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.